So the first item on the agenda is the update fire station focus group. I have not been there, so I'm going to give it to Elle just so she can update us on the focus group. And also, I'm going to say something after Elle, but she's just going to give us an update.
Okay, so we've been making some great progress with the visioning process. We have been holding our regular stakeholder meetings, and we've also held focus group with the Public Art Commission, and we have a focus group scheduled tomorrow night for Beachmont Improvement Committee, as well as the senior focus group. And then we have the third focus group, which is scheduled for Wednesday, and that will be held at Revere City Hall, and that will be held in Arabic, the entire meeting. And
the date on that, Elle?
I'm sorry?
What's the date on the last focus group?
The Arabic focus group is this
March
Thursday,
2nd.
March 2nd.
And time?
It's at 10 a.m. in Arabic at Revere City Hall.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Elle.
So we've had a lot of help with Asma to do the outreach for that. And then for the focus group that we're holding tomorrow evening at 6 for Beachmont Improvement Committee and the seniors, we've been having outreach through Deb Pesca has been helping us with outreach at the senior center. And we've also had help from Kathleen Heiser to do outreach to the Beachmont Improvement Committee. So that will be held tomorrow evening. And
at each location, the senior at the senior center, the Beachmont one will be at? No,
the Beachmont Improvement Committee and the senior meeting will be held tomorrow evening at the museum.
Oh, okay.
At 6 a.m.
6
Right,
p.m.
Elle? 6 p.m.
6
I'm sorry.
p.m.
Yeah, no one's
I'll
going
be
to
there at 6 a.m. if you want. I don't know if anybody will be joining me.
Lorraine, what's up?
Yes.
I'm going to get off my phone and get on the link on my computer. So I'm leaving and I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll admit you. I'll look for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, are you done, Elle?
No, so I just wanted to say, so we've been progressing through. We've completed multiple edits of a survey that we will be posting to revere.org so that we can do outreach to the entire community for feedback. So we'll be looking forward to getting that out on the website. And Brian, if you're able to post that on our social media as well.
They should have that solved. We've got access to it. We just got to make sure that the verbiage shows up on it, which it's just not doing for some reason.
Okay.
But we'll get it straight.
Okay.
And then I'll just push it out locally to everybody.
Yeah, so if everyone can share, would really appreciate that. And then our last meeting, which we haven't set a date for, well, we're in the preliminary stages of setting a date, is going to be specifically targeted at younger artists. We're really hoping to capture sort of high school students and in that age range to just sort of really hear from them some feedback about what they feel like the gaps are that we don't actually offer in our community that might be helpful to start a new career or just to, what are folks really looking for that would be helpful. So Larry, I think I sent you that link. So if you haven't received that, please let me know. And because I previously had 2 emails for you. So just to make sure that you received the flyer for that. And then if you can help us with some outreach, that would be great. And I'll turn it back to Joanne. Thank you.
So I just want to say that we had a focus group for the PAC committee, and we had 2 attendees. That's it. And so we were a little disappointed that we didn't have a full attendance of the committee. And I just wanted to say that. I mean, it was very informative, and it's too bad that we all had two people from the PAC commission in attendance. So if we do have another focus group, I would like to say that I hope everybody attends, because there's a lot of information that we really need to get as an arts council. So I just think that it's very important for everybody to attend, just not 2 people. We have what do we have? 9 people? 8 people, 9 people. We need, and that's the other thing, we do need someone else. So if you know anybody that would be, would like to come on and be committed to this commission. You can submit, he can submit, or she can submit their names to Brian Rego, and he'll appoint them. So he'll
I
send.
did do that, Joanne, and Brian said, oh, that has to go to Joanne. So there is some confusion over that, because
Okay.
Jesse Chambers, who has a master's in arts and is
Yep.
performing, would be a perfect, and he's a vet, and he's got a bunch of different things from a different background than some of us have. So
Right, send me his, then if the mayor said that, then send me his resume. And I'll put
email
it,
it to you tonight.
I'll put it in the in his number so I can talk to him personally.
Yep.
And then I'll put it in the appointments committee, because we really need to fill that gap so we can.
He's a metal artist. He does graphics and things.
I had him as a student, I remember. I do.
He does well,
Family,
yeah.
actually. So,
Say
yeah,
again?
I said I had all of his brothers in
Yep.
school, so good, that's great. So send me that as soon as possible, and I'll put him in the appointments committee as soon as possible. Tonight, we had a new appointee. His name is Asher Waterhouse. He was supposed to come on and introduce himself and, you know, what he does as an artist, his medium. But unfortunately, I did give him the information, and I haven't heard from him. But he did go in front of the council when I wasn't there, and he did talk to the council about what he does and what he can bring to the PAC commission. So hopefully next time, next time he'll be on and he can introduce himself. So the next item on the agenda is the PAC logos. Brian, I was wondering if you could put the logo on social media, and if anybody wants one, yes. Oh, it's already on there? Oh, you got it in the back of your phone. But if people
It's
want,
the same as our logo from before, Joanne, but I can put an image up and put the language, the verbiage that you want for people to want
Well,
with the content.
all I want to know is if people want one, I will mail them to, if you got their addresses, I can mail them. We're not going to charge at this point. So, but if people want them and, you know, they send their address, you can forward that to me and I'll mail them a couple. So
Mhm.
I'm starting to see them around. Not much, we're starting to see them around. So it's good to put it out there. Okay, is that Lorraine coming in?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the next item on the agenda is I know we talked about this the last meeting, but we did reach out to Jeff Turco and Jess Janino. And we contacted them about getting a permit approved from MassDOT for a spring, to start the spring mural down underneath the Rita Singer Bridge. I haven't heard anything yet. I don't know, Elle, have you heard anything? No. So we're still waiting for an answer. I will reach out to both of them again and see what they can do, but I'd really like to start this. We already have the plans for it. We just need a permit. And, you know, I mean, the kids, like I said before, the kids are just graffitiing underneath the bridge because we have these silhouette black frames, and they're just, you know, they're tagging inside the frame. So the city did go down and clean it, but they cleaned it with, unfortunately, they cleaned it with beige paint, and they painted right over the silhouette, you know, outline. So we'll probably have to do that again at some point, but we are trying to get, there's still no answer with the Mass DOT. So I don't really know. I think I've been reaching out to Kim Driscoll's aide, and he's been great. I've been getting things done from him, so maybe I need to reach out to him and see if we can get permission from MassDOT if they can do it.
Joanne, question. I was thinking possible, is it possible to get an aide from Jess or Jeff on just get one of their aides to help us navigate rather than just connecting directly with them? Like maybe they can just refer us to someone that can help us navigate through the whole process, and so we have a better understanding.
Of the permitting?
Yeah,
Yes, well, I mean, I can do that. I know both aides and they're pretty good.
okay. Let's see if they can help us maybe.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
And I will call tomorrow. I'll call both of them and see if they can help. I know it's Jeff Turco's, jurisdiction, down there, so I don't want to step on his feet and try to get Rep. Janino. So I'll reach out to Turco first, and if we get nowhere, then I'll reach out to, Kim Driscoll's aide, because we had a problem with 15 lights being out on Winthrop Parkway for 3 months, and no one was getting anything done. They were all, given, well, it's National Grid, it's Mass DOT, it's DCR, and we weren't getting anywhere, and there were 15 lights, and I called them, and the next day it was done. So,
Okay.
so that's where it is.
Okay.
So,
Thank you,
you know,
Joanne.
You're welcome. I mean, it's hard because we had at one time we had Speaker DeLeo and Joan, who was his aide, and she did everything for me as a ward counselor. And now, he's gone, and we have freshmen reps, and they're doing the best they can, but sometimes it's hard for them. They don't, they'll call, DOT, Mass DOT, or they'll call someone in DCR, and they don't call them back. So, so they do try hard, but sometimes you have to go to the next step. So,
Okay. Thank you, Joanne.
all right, you're welcome, Rob. And I really want to meet
We'll
you.
keep plugging away on that one. So if we all hit it from all angles, maybe we'll be able to.
Yeah,
get
that would be
something up in
great.
the spring.
That would be great.
I
And
just text Jeff on his personal.
oh, good, great. Anything else? We don't have anything else. We have a very short agenda tonight, but is there any, let's open it up to the members and see if we have anything that we can discuss.
I'd like to ask if we're going to go into live meetings.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing that. I'd like to meet everybody in person, I mean, there are people, we've been on this for what, almost 2 years now in May? And there's people that on this commission that I haven't even met in person. So, it's more, I don't know, like I said, it's more personal when you meet in person,
Well, it was great to meet a new member, Lorraine, in person.
Yes.
It's just, you really got a feel for what she was about, and
Yes.
rather than across this little itty box in the screen.
And we don't have, I mean, Elle's working now in the museum. I mean, I'm sure that they filmed the focus group in the museum. I'm sure we can meet there. So
Yeah, I think it might be just easier to meet in the council chamber though, just because it is already set
A
up.
quick,
It's already equipped for the meeting on a regular basis. We had to do sort of a one-off setup to have
Yeah.
it at the museum.
I wouldn't mind sitting in the president's chair. That was a joke. But
so
anyway,
if we vote for you for that, Joanne, you become that person?
yeah, I guess.
You got
No,
my vote.
So, well, anyways, but yeah, I mean, we can figure it out once it gets warmer. Maybe in April, May, we can start, so we don't have to trug through ice and snow.
I know that blizzard last night was incredible.
It's crazy. It was crazy, I'll tell you.
There we
So,
go.
Start in April.
That much.
yeah, we could start in April. Okay, so let's make sure that's on the agenda for March. And
Okay.
everybody knows.
So March will be the last Zoom meeting and then
That would-
April will resume in the council chambers.
Yeah.
That would be great. Okay.
Okay.
All
So
other
I'm
commissions
gonna
do,
have to
right?
check with Ashley just to make sure that there are no other standing meetings in the council for our third Tuesday, to make sure we don't have to change the date. And if we do, we can revisit that at the April meeting, at the March meeting.
Okay,
Okay,
Thank you.
So.
so
Elle,
I'll
what's
take that as a
the,
takeaway for rescheduling live. in the
What's
chamber.
the third Tuesday of April?
18th.
All right, that's during the
Is that vacation?
school vacation, yeah,
Should we just automatically say right now, let's push it? to the
yeah.
week after?
Hey, do it May.
I make a motion to push it to the following week, if we
I
can.
second that emotion.
25th.
the 25th, yes, because I'm going away. I'm going to California the 10th. So, and I'll be gone for a whole week.
So they loaded up the truck and moved.
So, that would be good. The 20, is that the 25th, the Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't, we got to put that on the agenda too.
Okay, I'm checking right now the city calendar to see if there's anything already scheduled that night.
Oh, I did not receive the email, but I could email you from my personal and hopefully then like. you'll
Yes, can you
have,
do
like,
that?
somewhere
And
in
then, please, so that way I have your email address and I'll send that
Yes.
information to you directly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. That will be great. Anybody else?
Another subject, Al and I talked a little bit about the mural at the Wonderland Circle there.
Yes.
And we're still looking for other locations, so if anyone has that in mind. And one of the things I suggested was it may not have to be a mural that's so big on one building. Maybe it's multiple buildings that happen to fit the criteria of what we're looking for somewhere in the city.
That's a
So
good
we
idea.
could do that, but the mural that we have already put out to the public to vote, would really like to, get that one in and then maybe we can do more after that. But I think we've already put it out for a community vote and
Right,
that was voted. So we probably should try to go forward with the one that was voted in.
I agree. Yeah.
well, I agree with that, but I'm just saying in the future, we can look at
Oh,
multiple,
I think
multiple
we should. I think
properties
that's a
in
great
one
idea.
location.
Absolutely.
Rather
Oh, yeah.
than like, we gotta find this great big building,
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean, that
hard.
fits what we need.
It is hard.
Exactly.
No, I think you're right. Yep.
I
So
agree.
that's-
Smaller,
that's
we're
good.
not, we're not New York City, we're not Boston, we don't wanna have a lot of those buildings.
Now, are we set on like in Wonderland right at the circle? Or just in that general area?
In that general area,
Okay, well, what are
because of the funding
possibilities-
source, it has to stay in that general area.
Okay, what are the possibilities of like the Revere Beach Tea Stop in that location?
We're gonna have the same situation with the
Yeah,
MBTA.
they're not going to let us do
Well,
it.
no,
permitting it.
I'm thinking actually the actual, what's the Mass General? Do you think that we would be able? to
Oh,
get something
Revere Beach Stop.
coordinated on the side of the Mass General?
There's not a lot of space there, Rob, where you could see it other than Beach Street and Shirley Ave going over the tracks. The whole front of it's just glass. The sides are the only places, and it's curved in one end and a flat wall with multiple windows on the Beach Street side. So that'd be a hard place to put something like that in. It would have to
Okay.
be an install over stuff.
Okay, what about the massive gray building, plaster building at the end around there?
What?
Where? I-
So I'm just thinking some, not just city owned or state owned or,
Carabetta buildings,
yeah. Like on
Good
the
luck.
end there, on the
Good
backside.
luck with that. They won't even fix up their building. These poor people are still out of their building. I mean, they're horrible landlords. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
What a
So-
spectacular building it would be, though, to put one on the back of
Oh,
that.
oh,
Listen,
Like
it's a
about
perfect building.
12
It's a perfect
stories.
building,
Yeah.
Brian.
I mean, if I
Oh.
can get in touch with the woman that's running it now, I think it's Carabetta's daughter, which,
Yep.
I
I mean,
mean, she's
If
just,
we're willing to, it might kind of move them along to take care of the building as well if they've got a nice art installation on the outside.
that
The
would be
challenge
wonderful.
with that is gonna be the application of the art onto the building. That's scaffolding or
Oh, yeah,
hanging,
definitely.
that's gonna be real expensive to do that.
That's definitely true.
Beyond our budget.
You'd have to get a
Joanne.
bucket truck. What?
Joanne, why don't you just float the question and see if it's a possibility, and then we can revisit it with the artist.
Sure. I don't know how to
It
get,
may be a hard no, and if it's not, then let's see what we can do with that.
The
okay.
only other option I can think of is there's companies that'll take in the art that's made, will blow it up and they'll install it on the building. But those are not cheap to do that. So that it's an actual application that's, think of it as a film.
Yeah, I
Or-
know what you're talking about.
Right.
Would
But they're
really
not,
rather, I think.
they're not cheap.
Yeah, why don't we,
Price
why don't-
those
like
things.
El said, why don't we just see if it's a possibility to put something there? And then if so, then we'll move on to the next step of identifying what we can, manage.
And in the
I-
meantime, if anybody has any other thoughts or ideas about other places, just can you email them to the group?
Broadway and Central, going down Central towards Broadway, the long section in the middle of the tower on the fire department building.
What about across where
I'm sorry, Brian, can you say that again? I'm not following what you mean.
Central Ave going towards Broadway. The only thing you
Exactly.
see in the enter Central Ave is the firehouse,
Pay station.
number one. All right, and they've got
It's a
that
different
big tower.
district, so the funding for that project does
just-
not extend there.
Well,
he-
we need to, in the future, you could put something in there that could be
Yeah.
appropriate for our city, and I think it would look spectacular coming
You
down
know-
Central Ave.
Brian, you know where there's another place where the Good Diner is across the street where he has his parking? There's a
Yes.
big gigantic
The wall
white,
there.
yeah, there's a big white wall there.
Yeah,
Um,
Riviera Pizza.
No,
across-
the other wall. Well, both walls, really.
Yeah,
we
I
can
mean,
get-
we could do something there. I know Sabat.
They
Sabat,
would easily,
you know, so
easily want to participate in this.
he's the best.
Of
So,
course he is, and he makes great food.
no, so, and he, you know, I'm sure he would love that. So,
Great.
but he did buy the parking lot, so it is his parking lot. So I don't know if he shares it with anybody, but that's a great spot too.
Little
So-
off, but you still see it when you're
I can-
going
I can
towards
definitely,
Chelsea.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can definitely talk to him, or you can talk to him, Brian, if you're in there.
Mhm.
You know,
I'll
it
just
wouldn't
call him.
cost, it wouldn't
I'll
cost
call
him anything. It would just, you know, we would pay the artist, so it wouldn't really.
How
cost.
are we getting the money to pay the artist, Joanne? for that?
Yes, well.
We will get that. That's future stuff. We're talking about everything and anything right now. We're all
Okay.
clear that Wonderland needs to be the,
I mean,
Fine.
I just don't want to say to him, yes, we can do it and we have funding. I mean, we could say, we'll talk about getting funding for it. So I have another location and I have someone that's interested in putting a mural there. I'm working right now to see if I can come up with a funding source for this property owner. And it's along the Northern Strand Trail. So more information to come on that one. But that would be.
how is that progressing, the Northern Strand?
Yeah, so that's the next thing I wanted to talk about. So I'd like to see if we can get this thing in the spring. At this point, the event thing seems to have fizzled out. So would people be amenable to just getting the project done?
Yes,
Of course.
Okay. All right, so let's put that as the number one agenda item for the next meeting.
So
We could
before you do
still
that,
show up and broadcast on social media that
Yeah,
here it is, you know what I mean? So we could turn that to our event.
okay, that's
And-
fine. I
and
just
when-
want to go about that without asking
Al,
people.
can you tell me a little bit more about where you're talking about?
So the
Northern-
Northern Strand Trail, are you familiar with that?
No,
Okay, so the Northern Strand Trail is a new railway trail that was just put in through a railway grant for 5 communities, including Saugus, Revere, Lynn, Malden, and Everett. And it runs from Everett all the way through to Bennington Street in Lynn. So it passes through, Linden Square?
not sure.
Familiar with Linden Square?
No,
Somebody-
I don't remember. Tell me.
Linden Square, do you know where Linden Square is? Squire Road, Linden Square, the Harley Davidson
Oh,
dealership?
yes, yeah.
Right
So
there.
right there, right behind the Harley Davidson dealership is where the trail runs.
Oh,
So as you go all the way up, when you get to Malden, what is it? Linden Block, I think it is. That's Blodgett Street. So under there is a Route 1 underpass. And
Oh.
under there is where we're trying, there's a lot of graffiti there, and we're trying to put a mural there.
Okay.
So we were talking about maybe doing an event and having everybody out. That hasn't really come together, so we're thinking about maybe just advancing the project and having the artists come in and do it. So-
okay.
So we can get it done. We really
Mhm.
want to get at least
Great.
one of these 3 murals up, like early spring, and then the rest done by the fall. So,
That's the season for that.
yeah, absolutely, and I don't want to miss another season. I just want to take a moment and say, Rob, thanks for pointing out that the 18th doesn't work. I've checked the city calendar. There's already a meeting in the council chambers on the 25th. As I can see, it doesn't look like there's anything on the 26th.
Great.
I have to double confirm, but as long as that's available, would that be okay, Wednesday, the 26th for the first in person?
It works for me, yeah.
Okay.
Works for me too. Yeah, I
Okay.
think.
Yes.
I mean, it's a switch of day, but it's also a switch because of the vacation. So, and then we'll resume our normal Tuesday.
Perfect.
Great. Anybody
Awesome.
else?
And with it being at the council chamber, we can invite the public to come visit us.
Invite,
Well-
I'm sorry.
What happens is if it's, we'd have to put the agenda in 2 weeks in advance. It would have to be right in the journal. So we have to publicize it so they can come. If it's an open meeting, they can come. They'll
Great.
find it in the journal or the advocate. So, but that has to be done 2 weeks in advance. Because it has to be, if it's not, we can't have the meeting. Because the public has to know, it has to be, it's an open meeting. Am I
Why don't we
right?
just follow up and do that then?
So what are the steps that we need to have it as an open meeting? So we just need to submit the agenda 2 weeks prior to the meeting?
Yeah.
So by April 11th, we should have the agenda submitted.
That's
Okay.
how it works, and it has to be publicized, so,
And
And
I
how,
thought the meeting was in May.
no, it's in April,
it's in
Oh,
April.
April 26th.
And then how is it publicized? So we
Well,
submit the agenda and do we need
Yeah.
to reach out to the paper?
So
Oh,
how about this? How about I get that information and secure the council chamber, and I'll bring that information back for the March meeting.
okay, I think what, for
Perfect.
council, I think,
Thank you.
I think for the council, Ashley puts the information in, so. I don't think, I mean, we have an agenda. When we have an agenda, if it's just a motion, it doesn't have to be publicized. But if it's an open meeting, we have to publicize. So,
Okay,
I'll just check with the rules for this, if it's any
Sure.
different from the
I
council,
might be wrong.
and I'll
I might-
report back.
Okay, great. Thanks. All right, anything else?
No.
Okay, so March, what's the date on March? I don't have. that. March, anybody have that?
Yep, I'll tell you in 1 second.
Thank you.
I think it's the 21st.
March 21st.
That's a Tuesday.
Okay, so we'll
Yes.
meet on Zoom, March 21st, and then April 26th, we'll meet in the chambers. But we'll
Correct.
go over this in March. We'll go over everything that we talked about tonight in March. And
Okay.
just make sure that we have a plan.
Okay,
Excellent.
and another takeaway is, Brian, you're gonna send Jesse Chambers information to Joanne?
I am, and I'm gonna
So we can try to
contact
get
Jesse.
that, if we can try to get him appointed for the next meeting, then hopefully we can have the 2 new members at the next meeting.
Well,
Great.
the only problem is, they have to schedule an appointment, meeting for, the council, and sometimes they don't do it, for the next meeting. They
Okay,
have to have a number of people that they're going to appoint, so we might not have that till April. you know.
Okay.
We'll try. We'll get
at
the
least we can get it
information.
going.
But we'll try,
going.
definitely.
Exactly.
Okay,
I do have one question though. Are we
Mhm.
all set with the Point of Pines installation, or does that have to go through Mass DOT too?
It's also going through Mass DOT, which I
Yep.
can give an update next time. Next
Great,
week.
thank you.
I've asked Jessica Janino on that, if they could secure the top of it because they have a lot of pigeons up there. And so I asked Jessica Janino if she could try to get them to secure the top so that we won't have pigeons up there, so the artist can, cleanly get in under there and paint the mural, but that hasn't happened either.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
And I think the problem we're gonna have there is that if it's not completed, if the mural's done on the slope portion, which it is planned to be also on the slope portion, it's gonna need constant cleaning.
Yeah,
yeah.
so what would be the timeline for Mass DOT to get a project like that going? I mean, in reality, so is this something we are putting anti-graffiti paint on? And if we get the mural set up, and then even if they do the netting after the installation, is that a possibility?
Yeah,
Definitely,
Okay,
definitely.
because I
I
think. it
mean,
would be
ideally,
good
they would do it
not to wait
first,
for
but
them to put
we-
that up first. Yeah,
holding the press for that, it might not be the best.
And the other thing is, I don't think there's any graffiti down there. I think that the biggest problem down there is the pigeons. And that's where they live.
There's
So,
graffiti now,
oh, there is graffiti now.
the
Okay,
last month,
I haven't seen it, but it's
Yeah,
been
and if
it's been
graffiti.
there
covered by
is-
the city.
Okay,
yeah, and if there is anti-graffiti paint, it should be easy to wash off any other, anything else on there.
Mhm,
right.
correct.
Okay, anybody else?
No, thanks, everyone.
Thank
I
you very
forwarded-
much.
By the way, it was great meeting you guys in person at the last focus group.
It was fun.
Great.
She was
It
a
was a good meeting.
wonderful facilitator,
Yes,
woman that did it. She was terrific.
and L too, definitely.
Hell's
So-
the
It's
It's
best.
great. Hannah does a great job, and she's been doing a great job from MAPC.
Well, both of you do a great job, so.
So
And
those
it's great to
meetings
meet
you
you,
mentioned?
and I guess we'll meet again in person in April.
All
What'd you
right,
say, Brian, before you go?
I was
Did you-
gonna say the meetings that you mentioned, we published on the Revere.org page.
Yes, that'd be great,
Right.
great.
Yeah, good.
They're
Okay,
in the city calendar.
Excellent.
Yes, and the focus group, all the survey is going to be posted to revere.org. I
Great.
think we just got the translation back in Spanish. I know we got the Arabic one today. I'm not sure if we have the Spanish one yet. So once we have all three languages, we'll post that.
Excellent.
Okay,
okay, you guys have a great week.
thanks.
Thank
And
you,
to
everybody.
everybody else.
Go, bye-bye.